Hey, good morning, survivalists. I say good morning because it is the early morning of my second day here in the game, and I'm on top of this roof and getting ready to create my very first forge. Now, if you look here, I've selected the forge in the recipe list, and you can see the components that you need. I've got plenty of stone, but I'm missing clay, a bellows, and the short iron pipe. So these are the three things that I've got to collect sometime during the next few minutes here that we're together to show you how to make your forge, and then we'll take a look at actually doing a recipe using the forge. So I'm going to need a shovel in order to get clay, and the first shovel that I can craft is the stone shovel. So once I leave my rooftop, I'll use that stone shovel to dig up a bunch of clay, and we'll have that component. So now let's look at the next thing that we're going to need, which is the bellows. And the bellows has its own recipe, so we'll type that in and take a look and see what we need. So it looks like we need wood, which we've got plenty, animal hides, which we don't quite have enough, just have 8, but I need 12, and we also need a short iron pipe. So uh, I can take care of getting that iron pipe right now because I have a wrench. And if you have a wrench, you can use that wrench to take apart cars or air conditioning units or sinks, and you'll be able to harvest short iron pipes. You can also get short iron pipes simply by scavenging garbage piles and zombies that you've killed, and trash cans and sinks, and a lot of times you'll be able to find them. But since I have a wrench and there's an AC unit right here, I'm going to go ahead and harvest that. And looks like I got a couple of pipes. So that's probably good. Alright, so I've got all the pipes I need. So at this point it's just the animal hides that I've got to collect. So as soon as it's morning, I will go hunt an animal and get that done. Okay, and I've got enough for the actual forge as well. So, in hunting the animals, what you want to make sure is that you have some sort of a bladed weapon. I have a bone shiv down in the very bottom of my hot belt there, and I'll be able to use that to harvest animals for hides. Alright, so I went ahead and skipped ahead to a little bit later in the morning and came down from the rooftop, and there's a deer. So we'll go ahead and hunt that down. So first you gotta chase them across the countryside. I chase down that deer and pull out my bone shiv, and as you can see, I am, there we go, getting some meat and also hides. Alright, so we'll go ahead and jump ahead here. Got all my hides, and now what I need to do is get the clay. And if you go to your map will show you all of these regions where you can find clay deposits. So I'll just mark that and then run towards that. I'm going to skip the running part. Here we are just arriving at the clay field right there that you saw on my map. So you just switch to a shovel and start digging up the clay. You can see it going into my inventory right there in the lower right hand corner. I'll just make sure I have enough, and then we'll return to the rooftop. Alright, so I have all of the components that I need to make my bellows, so we'll make that first. There we go. And now that I have my bellows, and I have plenty plenty of clay and everything else. I've got all the materials that I need to make my forge now. So I'll go ahead and craft that and place it. So those are the steps to actually making your forge. Once you get into it, you'll see that it has a place for fuel, and we'll just put some wood in there and light it. And I got plenty of time for smelting anything that I want to smelt there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some iron in and some clay. Pretty much every recipe that you're going to use with the forge will require clay. So you want to make sure you have plenty of clay in your forge. Now you can see that the materials go into the forge, and it's that material that is in the forge that you're going to use to do your actual crafting. It doesn't matter if you have iron and clay in your inventory. It doesn't use your inventory for the crafting. So once you have enough stuff there, you can start crafting things. Over here's our recipes we can do. You can see that iron arrowheads are not highlighted, and that's because we do not have an anvil yet. We have to get an anvil, and then that will open up the iron arrowhead recipes. But forged iron doesn't require anything, so we'll go ahead and create some forged iron. And you just craft these things just normally, like you would normally craft anything. The only difference is that you must be in the forge interface and use the materials that are in the forge in order to create these items. So I'll put some brass in as well. And same thing, you can add lead and glass and stone into the forge in order to craft recipes that require those things. So now I've got brass in, but as you can see, I cannot make bullet casings. They require a book to be found, and also they require calipers. And calipers, as well as the die set, are two tools that must be scavenged from the world. You cannot craft those. They can be found in working stiff stores and also the new water treatment plant. Alright, so I'm going to make a better shovel so I can go out and get some more clay, because I was kind of low on clay. And I accidentally put all of my wood into the forge, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off and take some of the wood out. One thing that's important is that there are specific recipes that are exclusive to the forge and specific recipes that are exclusive to just crafting on your own. And the shovel, you can't get to it when you're connected to the forge. You have to leave the forge, then you can craft your shovel. And I came back with some more clay. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And I'm almost to the amount that I need to make an anvil. So an anvil costs 200 iron, and it's almost there, and then the anvil will leap to the top of the list here. There we go. So I can now smelt my anvil. I've got enough of everything, and as soon as that anvil is done, I will be able to craft arrowheads and other recipes. Okay, so hope this helps in getting your first forge.